good morning. Joolse here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So just a quick one, and this is about shrink plastic. So you all know about shrink plastic. It's plastic. Now it comes under the name of shrink plastic or shrinkies. I don't know all the brand names. You can get it in clear, you can get it in black, you can get it in white. What I did was I stamped with StazOn a daisy, and then I cut it out. I put a hole in it before you actually start shrinking it, and then I shrunk it down with the heat gun, and so it went from that size to that size. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't have any charms for my daisy journal, and what I wanted to do was I wanted some charms, and I've got a craft room full of equipment and bits and pieces, but I don't have any daisies, and I wasn't going to buy any, but I did have shrink plastic. So I have stamped those out, and it stays on, and it doesn't matter if the stamp doesn't quite reach the end. You cut it out, it doesn't matter. So I've also cut out a little pennant flag, and I'm going to use some black StazOn. Now I'm not sure about, I did re-ink my black StazOn, but I don't know if I've done it properly. I'm going to use this. It's a pretty little stamp. I don't have a name on it, and I don't know where I got it from. And what I want to do is I just want to stamp some pattern on this. I mean, remember, it's going to shrink down. And again, some of it's faded, it doesn't matter. I'll put my lid on my StazOn, otherwise it'll dry out like it did the last time, and then I'll have to re-ink it. The only thing with StazOn, it does stain your stamps. I just use a baby wipe. You can get special stamp cleaners for StazOn. StazOn is it has a smell about it. It's an archival, oh I forgot, it's a solvent ink, sorry. My brain just went dead there for a while. So there you can see, I mean, I'm cleaning that with it's coming off, but it is staining the stamp. But as I say, you can get cleaners for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out the way. It is quite light, the shrink plastic, and it will fold over on itself. So always have, I just usually have a block or a stamp just to flatten it. So I'll do this, and I'll do it on, but I will go quiet while it's you see it all shrinking into itself. You can do this in the oven as well. It does lay flat eventually. And then I just do that. It cools off. Now that has gone a bit wonky. You can straighten that out and reheat it. I'm quite happy with that. But there, I've got a little plastic tag that I can hang. I can stick a little label on it, anything. Well, what I probably would do is stick a little label on it. But with shrink plastic, you can write on it, you know, as long as it's a kind of permanent marker. You know, if you want to write your own sentiment, make sure it's a permanent marker, because it will wash off eventually. That won't, that stays on. And I think they're quite canny. So that went from sort of like that size to that size, so you can make some pretty little embellishments. So we'll do one of the daisies. I will cut this out, depending on how long the video is. I might speed this bit up, because there's nothing more boring than watching somebody cut something out. You don't have to be cutting out. You can kiss cut it, you know, leaving some white edges. It doesn't really matter. It's going to shrink down. I want to do a yellow centre, so what I'm going to do is use my alcohol pens to give it a yellow centre. Well, you could put it on afterwards with alcohol pens. Any other pens, you know, that wash off, water soluble, they'll just wipe off eventually. Now, it's not as flexible as paper, so... And don't worry if you get any sharp edges, because they do round off when it's, you know, when it's shrinking. And the punch I used, I mean, you have to remember, if you use a little tiny hole punch, it will shrink smaller than that. So I used, sort of like, you could use your crocodile. It depends. I mean, if you're going to put a metal ring through it, or wire, or you know, thread, I think a needle will go through the smaller ones. So what I'll do is I'll try it with a smaller. Normally I use that one, which is that size, and that's what it shrinks down to. I don't know whether you can see that. But I do have a smaller one. I think that would be too small. I really do think. I've also got a daisy one, so I'm going to do the daisy. These I've had for years. They're Fiscus hole punchers. I still use them. I have a crocodile, but sometimes it's just as easy to get these out. So we'll move these out the way. And again, I hold them down with scissors. You can use the end of a paintbrush, as long as it's not plastic, you know, anything to hold it down, because it will blow away. And there you can see it's starting to turn it over. And yeah, get hold of it before you put the gun on it. It's starting to flatten out. You don't have to be as hard as that, but when you're trying to video something, when you're trying to do 3 things at once, it is a bit. So there. And there's the little daisy punch. You can just see it's got little frilly edges. So just 2 seconds and I'll be back. I'm just going to get my alcohol markers. All right, I'm back. So, oh, I found some mints. Right, so these are just the pro markers. There's loads of different types of markers on the market. I've had these for a while, and all I'm doing is and because I've used StazOn, and that's like an alcohol ink, it may blend in. Now that was green ink I used there. I think I've just used gold. We'll try, this one's a peach. These have, they're double-ended, they're chisel-ended, and that's maybe just a bit too pale. We'll go for a brighter orangey one. This one's bright orange. And then that's giving it more of a daisy middle, and I'll do it with this because this one I did afterwards as well, but I just used an aqua marker and then realised it would just come off. But it's probably better if you do it before. But there's your shrink plastic embellishments, and they will fit with string. Oops. I think these are all separate, yeah. So you need rings to put them on. And that one's got a ring in the middle. It's actually a link. So we'll try this. Hang on, I need my tools. Take this away. I've got jewellery making pliers and everything. I'm not really into jewellery making. It is more for making embellishments and wiring things for my journals. But the shrink plastic I've had probably about 20 years. You can still buy it. It's, well, it wasn't dear when I used to buy it, but it's from my demo days when I used to demo for a couple of craft companies. And then just and there you have it. So that's got like a wee beady thing at the end, and then I would need a ring to put that on. You can hang some other little charms, and there you have it. So they are quite nice. I really like them, and I'm so glad that I remembered I had the shrink plastic. I hope you get a lot out of this. I hope it helps. You will see these in my Daisy journal. If you would like to follow my journey with my Daisy journal, please subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get a notification every time I upload a video. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. So bye from Scotland. See you in the next video. Bye.